Hi everyone, welcome to Anna's Nail Advice, our series where you guys send me pictures of your troubled nails and I give you advice about how to take care of them and how to make them better. In today's video, we are going to be looking at Nikki's nails, and this is what she is dealing with, the poor girl. As you can see, they're quite peeling, so if your nails are peeling and weak, keep listening, and hopefully the advice for Nikki will also work for other people. Before we get to Nikki, I just have to guys read you something because this really made me laugh and this comment was absolutely awesome. Okay, so this was on Instagram. Petra PMA. Hi Anna, finding your YouTube channel has literally changed my nails. I know you get this a lot, but never enough. But I wanted to share as my nails have transformed so much in 1 month. I used to cut the cuticles, quote unquote, proximal nail fold, and I thought my genetics were a disaster as the skin around my nails grew like MF. But just throwing my cuticle nippers in the trash, meaning metal recycling, pushing back gently the proximal nail fold, using cuticle oil and a nail cream with urea has transformed my nails to the next level. Sometimes I find myself stopping whatever I'm doing and just staring at my nails, thinking that I must have accidentally swapped hands with someone else. Thank you, Anna, from the bottom of my heart. I will forever recommend your YouTube channel to everyone I know. And by the way, love your attitude. You seem like a rock star. Honestly, made my day. So you know what? This very, very simple advice, it really, really helps. And I'm receiving pictures from our challenge, and it's been 2 weeks and there was already a difference in people's nails. So it really, really works. So Nikki, there is hope for your nails. Okay, so here are the pictures and let's see what Nikki has to say. Over the past few months, I have experienced the following nail damage. Brittle nail beds that peel and chip mainly at the free edge, mostly on thumbs. Okay, so it's not your nail beds that are chipping, it's the nail plate. So the nail plate is the nail that sits on top of the nail bed. The nail bed is the part underneath where the nail plate is stuck to. Of course, this leads to poor adherence of the nail polish and chipping at the free edge. Yes, exactly. Peeling is horrible for that. My nails are not too hard or soft. I do my manicures once a week. I primarily use pure acetone remover. And by the way, there is so much hate when it comes to the acetone or polish removers, but I'm telling you guys, my gut feeling, I've been doing this for 25 years, I don't know, 27, something like that. And I've done some comparisons and it's not the acetone, and I will prove it to you, it's not the acetone. It's something else, but keep listening, I'll get to it. I also religiously apply oil to my nail folds and nails, and I use lotion regularly. I primarily use the following nail polish brands: Dazzle Dry System, Cirque Colors, SC, Dior Nail Glow, and Apricot 500, and Lights Lacquer. I use a glass cuticle pusher, but might be using it too aggressively because I find it hard to remove all the cuticle. I do not cut my nail fold. Also, she says, I forgot to mention that I don't buff the nails, which is very, very good. I use, because that's usually my first question, do you buff your nails? Because if you buff your nails, you're buffing off that protective layer that the nails actually have, so don't ever buff. Or don't buff thinking that you're doing something good. We must buff sometimes very, very lightly in order for the nail polish to stick, but that's is done because we have to, not because it's actually good for the nails. I use either squalene or oil or a blend of oils, too many to name. I use CeraVe or NuVail lotion with almond oil. I used oil and lotion after the picture and the nails looked better. Yes, so I usually ask people to send me pictures. Well, I ask people to send me pictures when the nails are wiped with pure acetone or alcohol, so I can really see the surface, because oils and the moisturizers hide a lot of the damage, and then I can't really see the surface of the nail, so I can't really guess what's going on. I then painted them with the Dior Apricot 500 and Dior Nail Glow. By the way, that's a gorgeous combination. It is hard to keep them bare, but if I have to for a while, then I will. And then she says that she had some health issue of history of breast cancer and the medications that she's on, which I really cannot comment because obviously I'm not a medical professional, but She also says she's considering going to a dermatologist, but still she thinks that she can benefit from my expertise. And exactly, guys, and so many times I say on this channel that please don't try to diagnose over the internet, because yes, of course, the nails show if there is any health issues. Usually they show if there is any significant nutritional deficiency, if the diet isn't that great. They will show overall poor health or poor care as well, right? So, but I cannot talk about any health issues because I'm not a doctor and I'm not a dietitian, so I can't really talk about it. But I help with I try to help with how the nails are looking from a cosmetic point of view. So I can help this process of improving the nails from a cosmetic point of view, right? So your doctor should help to, get your health in order from the medical perspective. Then obviously maybe a dietitian can help you with your diet, and I can help you then from the cosmetic side, because I think the approach should be to anything that we do holistic, right? Because it's not just one thing. It's usually everything has to do with everything else. All right, so first of all, I'm going to address the polish wear. I am not a huge fan of nail polish, a regular nail polish, when the nails are damaged, and I'll tell you why. I think that nitrocellulose, which is a film forming ingredient that is contained in pretty much all the nail polishes out there, it can have a damaging effect on the nails, on some nails, especially nails that are already physically damaged. So a lot of the strengtheners obviously are in the nail strengtheners treatments are in polish form. So the thing is, even if they might have some beneficial ingredients, first of all, those ingredients are very, very low on the ingredients list, so who knows if they're even working. Second of all, the first ingredients are usually the solvents, which are fine, they evaporate. But then the third usually is nitrocellulose. So I think even though the treatments might help a little bit, I think the nitrocellulose might cause some damage. And I'm going to link a very, very important article at the end of, actually I'm going to link in the description box, written by Dr. Vivian Valenti, and she's the creator of Dazzle Dry. So she explains how the nitrocellulose can damage the nail plate. So basically, when the nitrocellulose very quickly breaks down, it leaches almost, like the way I understand it, nitric acid, and nitric acid is corrosive, so that's how it could damage the nail. Even wearing a base coat that's nitrocellulose-free is not really helpful, because the nitric acid has a very small molecule and it leaks through the little channels in the base coat. That's why the Dazzle Dry is a nitrocellulose-free system, not just nitrocellulose-free base coat. And I think that's how it works, because I really don't see I don't see any yellowing when it comes to Dazzle Dry. So, and I don't see the same kind of a surface damage. But surface damage on the nails, again, it's a very complicated topic. So it's not usually caused by one thing, but it's almost like a perfect storm happening. But the nitrocellulose, I have a gut feeling it has a huge influence on that damage. With the nitrocellulose-based polishes, unfortunately, it's going kind of like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. And if they peel, then they're going to peel even more of the natural nails with them. So I don't recommend, when the nails are that damaged, I really don't recommend using any nail polish. I really don't. I hate to say it, I really don't. So the easiest way, I'm going to kind of go with the easiest, the most simple way, to a little bit more kind of complicated, but not too complicated. All right, so the easiest way would be the warm oil soaks. These are really, really effective when they are done once a week, I would say. Once every week, once every 2 weeks. I will link the video at the end of this video, and where I show you how I do my soak. And they really, really do work. And I recommend jojoba oil, not just any oil. So buy larger size of the jojoba oil. And the good thing about jojoba oil is that it has a very small molecule. It absorbs into the nail plate as well, plasticizing it and protecting it. Because it doesn't just stay on the surface, believe it or not. When you multiple times apply it, and especially when you put some heat into it, it actually will go deeper into the nail plate, protecting that nail. So this is really, really good. So you want to do that once a week, definitely. So buy a bigger bottle. You can reuse jojoba, because It's not very sensitive to heat, so that's a very good thing. The next thing, which is very, very important, and many people don't understand how important that is the daily care. The most important thing is, and I know it's a bit of a pain, but you will get used to it. Every time you wash your hands, people ask me how many times do I have to apply the oil or foot cream? Well, after each time you wash your hands or after each time you shower, because not only the water is actually damaging to the excess water, it could be damaging to the nails and the skin, but it's the detergents that strip the skin of the protective oils in the skin and in the nails, because the oils are actually the thing that keeps the cells and the layers of the nail together. So if you are washing your hands with the soap doesn't know which oil to strip, the bad dirt or the good oils from your skin. So the harsher it is, the hotter the water it is, the longer you are in water with the detergent, the more damage that it does. So the overwashing hands is just not a good idea, in my opinion. Washing your hands a few times a day and then just not touching your face, maybe, to me, that's a better advice. And after you wash your hands, apply the jojoba oil. It does make a very, very big difference. Just one little drop, rub the small amount of oil into the skin of around the nails, and just kind of rub it into your hands. Take a small bead of lotion, like the CeraVe lotion, and just spread it around your hands. It doesn't have to be a lot, tiny amount. On a regular basis, it really adds up, because very often I get people say, well, I don't put the oil on because then I go and wash my hands. Well, it doesn't matter, because you just wash off the oils, you have to put it back. So the skin barrier is restored, because if skin barrier is broken, the skin gets really dehydrated, really dry. You start seeing peeling. Same thing with the nails, right? So you really want to make sure that you kind of seal that skin with those oils. So very important, every hand wash, dab of oil. Another thing that I see very often is just a lack of patience, because very often people think that they do something good for 1 to 2 weeks or something, and they should start seeing a difference. To a degree, you will see the difference in the skin before you see the difference in the nail. And the reason why is that skin turns over from the bottom up, right? From the inside out. The nail has to grow out. First of all, it has to form underneath the proximal nail fold, and then the healthy nail has to grow out. And nothing really will fix that or rebuild, believe it or not. Don't believe it. The marketing claims nothing will rebuild and repair the nail. The nail can be conditioned and it can be protected so it can grow out as protected as possible. But then what you have to do is you have to protect the nail so it doesn't get damaged further. The good news, Nikki, is that your nails are not damaged all the way. This is a very good thing. So you start seeing damage around here. So that's halfway up or down, depends from which area you're looking. So that's very good news, because very often when people have a lot of damage from removing enhancements, from removing gel or acrylic or things like that, they have damage all the way to here. So this usually takes about 2 months to grow. So for you, you might start seeing a very good improvement, I would say, in 1 to probably 3 months. So looking at the nails, it's the thumbs, right? Because let's look at the other nails. Okay, so the other nails look actually pretty good. The skin around the nails looks really, really good, beautiful. You could just push it back a tiny bit more, but again, don't do anything drastic. Just very, very gently push it back. It doesn't look like you're pushing back too aggressively whatsoever. Yeah, the rest of the nails looks very, very good. I see a little bit of pink in this area, but it could be just the angle, because at first I would ask if they were filed or buffed, but you're saying that you're not buffing them, so that looks good. So it's mainly thumbs. So I think they could be, I still see some peeling here and here. So it could be that you're using your thumbs a little bit more often, or it's just that for some reason they are getting more damaged. But so with the rest of the nails, I think you might start seeing a difference in the skin for sure, much quicker, but in the nails, I would say in a month or two. So just be very, very patient. Now, when it comes to the creams that I recommend, urea is very, very important. Anything around 10% is good, because when you go over, people very often think that more is better. So if 10% urea or 5 is good, then well, let's just use 30. But believe it or not, 30 or 40% is not very good for the nails. It can actually exfoliate the nail. It can remove the nail, because it's not an exfoliant, but it kind of it could break down the nail. So nothing too strong, but just 10% urea would be great. And the oils, like I said, jojoba, sweet almond oil, even sunflower oil, avocado oil. Avocado oil is really good too, but jojoba, even if I make my mixture of oils, grapeseed oil is also good. I make the jojoba, I mix 50% jojoba with other oils if I want to. A lot of people talk about coconut oil. Coconut oil is great for the skin, but let's not always think that one ingredient is going to fix everything. It's a combination of different things that will contribute to overall health, right? So just because blueberries are healthy, that doesn't mean that you should eat only blueberries. Speaking of diet, make sure, I might talk about it a little bit later, but make sure that you talk to your dietitian, make sure that you have sufficient intake of protein, because the nails are made out of protein, and rubbing protein on your nail, believe it or not, is not going to make it any better. Just like rubbing a chicken breast on your thigh, it's not going to make your legs grow, your muscle grow, right? So you have to eat that protein in order for the protein to work, and that's how it works when it comes to the nails too. So sufficient amount of protein and good fats. So good diet is very, very important as well. Another thing that I would recommend, because like I said, I don't recommend too much of the regular nail polish treatments. But if you, obviously sealing the nail and helping the surface of the nail is a good idea. But instead of doing it with the nail polish, I recommend daily treatments like the Rescue RX, and I've talked about it. And I also made a video, but I have to redo it because it was not good enough, but it's a very good product. Rescue RX, it's a product made by C&D. It actually has a very interesting ingredient. I will talk about it in the video as well, but it's that ingredient bonds the keratin to the nail, kind of protecting the surface of the nail. So it's interesting. It's not super expensive. It's available at Beyond Polish. I will have a link below as well. So that is one of the treatments, and you put a small amount. It's actually it's a mixture. It's an emulsion. People think it's just an oil. It's not, but it has jojoba too. Twice a day, very good idea. Another product that I don't have a lot of experience with, but I've heard a lot of good opinions, is the Issen SI nails. So I made a video about this product, and I can link it at the end of the video as well. It's very interesting. But again, please don't forget that anything that you're doing is going to take a very long time for you to see the difference. So they say you will see improvement within a week or two, but I would say you might see some improvement, but don't give up if you don't see improvement yet. Okay, so that's one thing also that I would recommend. Another one that I would recommend is, so the Issen product has the mastic gum. It's a resin that I think it's, from what I've been reading, it actually might be helpful. There is some science behind it. Now, another product that for sure works is the Mavala K+, and that one does not have vitamin K. A lot of people think it's vitamin K, but it has dimethyl urea, so it's a hardener, but it's a kind of a gentle hardener, so it's not going to make your nails too brittle. But just make sure that you don't use it on the nails that are super thin, that don't have that are very spongy. But it does help. So like I said, it has dimethyl urea, but it also has that mastic gum. So that's interesting. They say to use it every 2 to 3 days, and of course you have to use it on bare nails, just like you would the Rescue RX and the Issen pen. So obviously you don't have to be using all 3 treatments. I definitely don't recommend, but pick something that you think you can be consistent with and just stick to it. And the last thing that I would recommend, or I would consider recommending, is the IBX treatments that are done in a salon. It's an interesting treatment. It's not a miracle, like nothing is a miracle, but it can help. So what it does, it's almost like a gel that's very thin, and it's mixed with oil, and when you put it under heat, it sinks into the nail, and it bonds the nail. It doesn't actually bond, it fills the nail, and then it gets cured into the nail plate. So there's nothing on the top of the nail, it's in the nail. So having it done weekly or every 2 weeks, it might really help. Again, it has to be done over a long period of time on a regular basis. So that's the problem with IBX. It's possible that it works, it really works for some people, but it has to be done in a salon, and it has to be done on a regular basis. And the advertisements that IBX has show like these amazing nails before and after, but they mentioned that it was like 3 to 6 months later when the healthy nail grew out. So it definitely might be protecting the nail so the nail can grow out healthy, but from my experience, it does not fix the existing peeling or damage. The nails look better. Actually, it's interesting because the nails feel sealed. So when you're finished with a couple treatments, you can see that when your nails are exposed to water, the water kind of beads on top of them. It doesn't really absorb, so that's really cool. Another thing that I wanted to just mention, again, I don't want to talk about it too much because that's not my area of expertise, but I wanted to mention that after all, biotin seems to be showing some promise. So I came across this medical abstract here. So here's what it says. They did a study with 71 patients, and they were treated daily with 2.5 milligrams of biotin. And out of the 71 people, 45 patients finished the study. So 41 people showed definite improvement with firmer and harder fingernails after an average treatment, 5.5 months plus minus 2.3 months. In 4 of the 45 cases, which is 9%, the improvement was questionable. So 90% improvement. There was also a product that I came across. It's called NuVail, and it's a prescription. Interesting. And here also they of course had to blame the nail polish remover, which, like I said, I'm telling you, I'm going to prove it, it's not the nail polish remover. But they were talking about how putting like a breathable layer on the nail. Breathable, I know that the nails are not breathing, and it's not that, but it's the nails have moisture that has to evaporate from the nail plate as well. So certain amount of permeability is good when it comes to nail polish. And this is also not a polish, so it's a polyurethane or something, and it kind of wears off the nail plate, so you don't have to remove it, and it doesn't chip or anything like that. So I can see how this could work. So maybe this is something that you could ask your doctor as well. NuVail, it's polyurethane, 16%, very interesting. So anyway, if you are a doctor on this channel, Dr. Donna, maybe, if you could maybe tell us a little bit more about this, that would be super interesting. Anyway, so obviously general health is also very important, and this is something that should be investigated a little bit as well. And like I mentioned before, sufficient protein intake, oils, and things like that. But like I mentioned, very often I don't want to scare anyone ever, because very often is how we care for our nails and what we do to our nails. We often do more damage than good to our nails, which kind of is good news, because at least we can change that and improve our nails greatly. This is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this video helped Nikki and other people that are watching. And if you are interested in the future content like this, please subscribe to our channel and hit a like if you like this video. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.